Welcome, everybody, to Movies, Comics, Usher. This is the MCU podcast with Chris and Fragger.
Yeah.
Oh,
How you doing, man?
doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I actually forgot the fact that right now on my TV, I don't know how I forgot about this, because it's literally like 5 feet from my computer. I still have Hulu open because I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before I had to run out today.
And
We'll talk about it later.
okay.
No, I just kind of looked over because I'm not staring at my computer whenever we're doing this. I kind of stare at a wall. It's better mic positioning. And I just looked over my TV. Oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's a thing that's happening.
That's a thing. That's a thing that we should do.
That is a thing that we should do. We do that every week.
We do, but not right start.
No, not to start.
We got to banter.
We have to banter about me trying to find my TV remote because I don't know where I threw it when I was done.
Oh, I thought there was like an angry story that came out of this. Like, no, I fucking stubbed my toe and the Yankees lost and I was so mad I hurled my remote into a fucking foreign country and now I don't know where it is.
To be fair, in my household, the Yankees were losing. My family would be happy.
Yeah, I guess you are Boston. That's right.
We're in the middle.
To Boston.
We're in the middle.
Yeah, but you're still like New England, which
Yes.
I guess.
Well, no. Connecticut traditionally is the battleground.
Is it? I just assumed everything north of New York was just like we're fucking New England, so aka Boston.
There's a ton of people who live in Connecticut that commute to New York City.
I guess. I thought they'd still hate it.
No, they don't because mainly because and this is a little weird tangent to already start off with on a busy week, but Connecticut, especially Southern Connecticut, is housed to a lot of people who commute because they can just hop on a train and it takes them like 20 minutes to get to New York City. So there's a lot of people from New York City in here, and they don't outright hate the Yankees. Most of them will just hate Boston because it's Massachusetts.
Did not expect that. I thought there was like some New England loyalty.
Nope, not at all, because there's also a rivalry just between our states, period.
Yeah, true that.
Well, this is going to go into using some language I'm a big fan of. We in Connecticut call Massachusetts people massholes, and they call us Connecticutans.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, how is massholes gonna be that offensive for you to use, dude?
No, that's the other one.
Yeah.
But that's just rivalries by states, but that's usually how it works. And I actually live in the center of the state, so I'm literally in the middle. And there's actually places around where I live that will have big events for both. And if both are playing against each other, the places that are usually in the middle of the two stadiums will have big events too for those.
See, I have the opposite issue in that I'm born, raised almost my entire life in PA.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad was a Giants fan. And because of that, I became a Giants fan too. Partially because, he's my dad. I wanted to root for his team. And then secondarily because I fucking hate Philadelphia fans. I hate every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So now, even football is the only thing I really got from my dad. I kind of followed the Mets because he did. But like basketball, I still get excited every time I hear about the 76ers losing, just because I know it makes Philadelphia sports fans angry. And I want them to be miserable.
That is a really healthy attitude.
That's what I think.
I think so too. So, we've had a bit of news this week. I've actually, because of just things in my life lately, I haven't had my ear to the ground that much.
Well, I got some news for you.
We do have news?
Yeah, we do have news. But I want to start off first with a rumor that has been debunked, if only because it was a very interesting rumor.
And you were hype about it, weren't you?
I didn't have much of a say either way on it, but it was interesting. And that was earlier today, comicbookmovie.com reported that Luke Cage had been cast.
Ah.
Now, it wasn't Terry Crews, though.
Oh, boo.
Now, can you guess who, if it's not Luke Cage, who they might have cast, or at least said they cast for Luke Cage?
I'm just going to say Denzel because it's hilarious.
No, but a better fit. It was Dual Hill, who some of you might know as the guy from Psych.
Ah, okay.
And The West Wing. And for those of you who, like me, maybe don't know much about Psych, yes, I do mean the black guy from Psych.
I would imagine.
It would have been really weird to have the white guy playing him, but I thought I'd mention that just, You should just be safe.
Just hedging your bets.
Yeah, but yes, it was said that Dule Hill was going to be playing Luke Cage. He had already been cast for the role. He had been cast this early because Luke Cage is supposed to be the last series they're going to be doing of the four, but he's supposedly been cast because he was really excited for the role. And the secondary rumor attached to the story was that at the Daredevil panel in New York Comic Con, they were going to have all four of the Netflix characters pop up and be introduced on stage together, kind of like what they did with the Avengers back in the day.
So introduce the Defenders then.
Yeah. So that would be, they'd still, I guess, do the Daredevil panel, but at the end it would be like the big thing would be like, and here are the fucking Defenders! And supposedly they'd been like, well, they've cast the other two as well, just this one got leaked. Dule Hill has since then come out saying it's a rumor, and the story has been taken down from comic book movies, so it doesn't sound like that's the case, or if it is, it's a cover-up right now, but it's most likely not what they're going for. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting, because at this point, everyone kind of looks at the Luke Cage role, and they're like, well, it's just gotta be Terry Crews. I mean, that guy's perfect for the role. And when I first heard Dule Hill, I was like...
That's not how you spell Terry Crews.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't seem right at all. But then I stopped to think about it. I was like, that actually kind of works, because it would be very similar casting to what they did with Chris Pratt and Star-Lord, where they took a person who on the surface definitely did not physically embody the role at all, but then they would say, hey, this person can do what we want comedically and dramatically, and we have the team that can get people like him into shape for the role. So they wouldn't be able to get him necessarily as jacked as Terry Crews, but they could definitely get him to the point where you'd be like, that's a strong looking guy. So I was like, this seems interesting, and it started to open my mind up. I mean, now that we know that he's not going to be Terry, or he's not going to be
playing Terry Crews as Luke Cage.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. But he's not going to be Luke Cage. It has kind of opened my mind to like, well, maybe there's a lot of other actors I haven't considered before just because they don't traditionally look like big, strong guys.
I don't know. I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see Terry Crews do Luke Cage.
The only thing I guess I need to see him do Sirius.
Yeah, he could do Sirius pretty well. I mean, as the old adage goes, comedy is easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only used.
Comedy's hard. Drama is easy.
I'm only used to seeing him in drama, so it's just one of those cases where I just have to see him do something dramatic for me to be like, okay, I could dig this.
I understand what you were attempting to say, even though you kind of botched that. Like, I botched things too.
Yeah, well, I botched a lot. I used to do a podcast called Botch Now.
I know. I didn't listen.
Oh, you didn't like the football?
I'm not a sports guy.
But you just had like a 30-minute discussion about the Yankees.
I know, but I still don't care.
Okay. I see what you mean.
I know about it, but I don't care. That's why I said this household would care if the Yankees were losing. I wouldn't. But
I can't care.
Okay, I stopped caring about sports when the Whalers left Connecticut.
The Whalers?
Yeah, our hockey team that then became the Hurricanes.
Huh.
Yep.
Hockey has weird named teams. The Whalers.
I actually have a Whalers jersey still someplace laying around. Because I liked the team that much. I went to games and watched it, and then they left, and I'm like, I'm done with sports. Meh.
You're done.
But actually, okay, it was worse because they left and then won the Stanley Cup like the next year.
Oh, that sucks ass.
When you're just like, fine, fuck it, I'm done.
Oh, I didn't want you guys to win anyway.
I know, it was like that. But no, after seeing Terry Crews completely kill it in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah, I'm down for seeing him in anything now. He's so good in that show.
Well, then hopefully there's still a chance. Obviously, the door's still open, or at least they haven't officially announced it yet in any capacity. So he still have the chance of ending up being the guy.
I would also just like to see Terry Crews in the MCU.
That is true. And you know what? Now that now that it's been brought up to me and I've sort of thought on it, I would definitely say that Dule Hill would be someone interested to see for the MCU, because he obviously kind of has that nerd cred from being on Psych all those years.
I wasn't a huge Psych fan.
I wasn't at all either, but I know a lot of people who were, and obviously, I mean, the show ran for like
ever
9 years at least.
There was like 1 or 2 episodes I catched. Like I had to catch the Clue episode.
Mm-hmm.
But
just had to.
Well, I love Clue. It was a great.
I mean, I love Clue too, and you had to catch that one.
Well, yeah, because they brought in, it was an homage to Clue, and they brought in like some of the surviving actors, and they did an entire homage to Clue as their 100th episode.
And was it cool?
You tried to make that a pun, didn't you?
No,
Because you sounded
I'm
like you
not
tried to
I'm not.
say.
I'm not a pun guy.
Okay, but moving on from things that aren't happening at all.
Yeah, that is unfortunately a rumor. But one piece of news has come out that is true, and this is a big one concerning Doctor Strange.
Doctor Terry Crews is Doctor
Terry
Strange.
Crews, Doctor Strange. He can't be Luke Cage, so we decided to be the other black superhero. Oh, he's not black?
We decided to make Doctor Strange black.
Black Doctor Strange, everybody. Blackter Strange.
I'd watch it.
No. Joaquin Phoenix is out as Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Negotiations with Marvel. The two could not agree to terms, so the
Multiple
playing
pictures.
field is 100% wide open now.
It was the multiple pictures. I'll tell you that right now.
The multiple pictures, and I think he probably did have a problem with the idea of having a movie where he spends most of his time interacting with CG objects.
Probably.
Those were like the two big side issues, and I honestly look. I love Joaquin Phoenix.
I just don't think he fits this.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel can do better, and I feel like he'll be better served not tying himself to this stuff.
He would be better as a villain, not a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who dies at the end of the movie.
Something, yeah, like a cameo, like a Baron Mordo or something like that, or someone where you're like, this is a guy who, we don't need to sign him to several pictures.
Yeah, someone who could pop in for a movie and be done, and not someone who's needs to be in like 87 other films.
Yeah. Now, the thing kind of going on with this now is since he's out, everyone's like, well, now who's the front runner? And there's a website, and I want to let this know because Latino Review, you may or may not know, is so notorious for being like a clickbait site. Kind of has a lot of false leads, just kind of throws shit out there. Have you ever heard that?
I remember watching their thing about them saying, we know that Planet Hulk is going to be in the next line of, is going to be in phase 2.
Yeah, so that you kind of just know that they're a little bit, like, don't trust their shit when they say it. Well, I have another site to add to that, and that is thisisinfamous.com. That's the same site who reported Jack Huston is, totally in the running for Doctor Strange, got me super excited. Well, they were at it again this week when it wasn't even just, oh, this person's in the line for the role. It was suddenly Ethan Hawke, the favorite to play Doctor Strange, just before Joaquin Phoenix backed out. They were just like, Ethan fucking Hawke has got it. And then Variety was like, no, he doesn't. And Ethan Hawke was like, I've never even been approached about Doctor Strange. I haven't even been talked about for it. So Ethan Hawke is not confirmed for Doctor Strange at all. I guess the current names are the ones previously mentioned a long time ago. Tom Hardy, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jared Leto, and those ones I don't even know how true they actually were.
Hardy wouldn't be bad.
So at this point, we're kind of just back to square one on this. We're going to wait and see what we get for Doctor Strange, and it could be a while before we actually get it.
Between those three names, I'd be down for Hardy.
I guess I could. Hold on, let me look him up. I know Tom Hardy is. I just can't ever picture his face because I think Tom Hardy and I think Bane.
Oh yes, brother.
Okay, I can kind of see that. Yeah, well, I can't tell who I am. So yeah, the big news is, I guess, bad news for the MCU in a certain way, but it'll probably end up being good news for them down the line.
Okay, Chris, I got an assignment for you so you can tell what I mean about why I like Tom Hardy.
Okay.
I think it might be still on Netflix Instant, because you still got Netflix Instant, right?
Yeah, I still have Netflix.
Yeah, as soon as you jumped back on it to watch Avengers, you were like, yeah, I'm going to keep this, I imagine.
I guess I'll stay with this, yeah.
I'm just checking to see if my favorite Tom Hardy role is on Netflix. Netflix is unfortunately taking an hour and a half to load, so you will have to continue, and I will come back to this.
Okay. Well, outside of that, we actually do have some other pieces of news. Probably, I guess, the biggest news outside of that is that we now have a date for the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. It has been reported. I believe the first site that had it was some Russian site that I can't pronounce, and you can't read the article. But it came to us.
Vodkaenthusiast.com.
It sent filmpro.ru. Essentially, I believe it was first reported, though, in English by Comic Book Movie. And it's reported now that the Age of Ultron trailer will be attached to Interstellar when that comes out. That's November 7th, so the notion is that we'll probably see it hit online during the last week of October.
Mm-hmm.
So We'll have some. We'll have a trailer for Age of Ultron probably within the next month or so.
Well, that means shit. I gotta go see Interstellar.
Yeah, well, weren't you already gonna see it?
Eh,
I mean, it's got Matthew McConaughey in. All right, all right, all right.
that was the thing that was making me want to go see it.
Okay.
Because you know what, Nolan's good and all, but I don't think I want to sit through a 3 hour Nolan space epic.
Oh, it is 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over 3 hours.
I had to take a day off work.
it's
I was
it's
wondering. I was like, this movie's trailer makes the story look really elaborate and long.
because it is.
And I'm like, oh, because it's gonna be like 6 hours to watch it.
Yeah, I remember I was reading online on IGN because one of my favorite things to hurt myself with is reading IGN comments. Is that people were talking about how, oh man, it's so great that Interstellar's this many hours long, and I'm like, no, it's not. I when you start getting over 3 hours long is when you start getting to pacing issues.
Or you need a fucking intermission.
Yeah, I mean, you know what the last 3 hour movie I watched was in the
Wolf of Wall
theaters?
Street. Well, that wasn't 3 hours. It was close though.
What was?
Wolf of Wall Street.
No, last one I saw in theaters that was 3 hours long. Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Oh wow, that was 3 hours long.
It was like 2 hours, like 45.
How the fuck was it that long of a movie?
They've been getting longer each time.
I just thought, I was like, what did they do for 2.5 hours of that? The plot's done in 15 minutes. Fucking bad robots, roar, kill them.
Interstellar is 165 minutes long.
I'm actually kind of excited for that though.
I am too, but that's the kind of movie I like to curl up at home and watch it like fits and bursts.
Gamey jams.
Well, no, I like to like sit down. I'll watch like an act of it, go and like do something, come back, watch another act.
Yeah, so I guess you really won't have that much of an opportunity to do that.
I'm probably gonna be seeing it midnight at the fucking IMAX. My friends.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. You're gonna get home at like 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, enjoy that.
I won't. By the way, Transformers: Age of Extinction. I'm right now getting to the fucking Wikipedia page and give you the length of the film is just as long.
God,
165 minutes.
that's insane to me. Like I cannot comprehend why that movie would need to be that long.
Did you see the third one?
I haven't seen any past the second. I've seen parts of the third, but I have not actually seen the whole third movie.
Second is 154. And the second, okay, the third one's 154.
I can understand a blockbuster being like 2 hours. It just seems like the standard for like a blockbuster kind of movie. But 3 hours, I cannot.
How long did Revenge of the Fallen feel to you?
That was the second one. I actually didn't mind the Transformer movie, so I don't think it felt like too much longer than 2 hours. But it's definitely one of those ones I was like, yeah, well, this is definitely not super awesome.
150.
Yeah, I could be like, yeah, it was a little over 2 hours.
And these movies are awful. Well, no, okay. When it comes to length of movies, I think that you have to be very, very careful with pacing. And when you're coming to a movie like Interstellar that looks like a 70s exploration movie or science fiction film in the vein of 2001 or things of that ilk, you start to run into pacing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that every movie should be like 2 hours and a little bit under or a little bit over. I just think that it needs to feel like as long as it did. That feels like a director's cut length.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's almost part of the excitement for the movie now at this point is the notion that it's going to be this like, oh, holy shit, it's fucking long as balls too.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. Maybe I'll just buy my ticket and walk out after the trailer.
Well,
no, I'm not that kind of guy.
You don't need to be a sassy sass about it.
Nah. I'll still sit through the entire movie and probably enjoy it. It's just I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had the exact same thing when I saw Wolf of Wall Street. I was just like, oh, God, it's like 3 hours. But I didn't enjoy that movie, so.
That was kind of like when I went to go see Return of the King in the theaters. I'm like, this is going to be the rest of my day.
I saw that as a midnight release.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, you learned your lesson, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I got off school the next day, so that was pretty pimp. But yeah, that was a mistake.
I think the longest midnight for me was probably the Avengers. Avengers is pretty long, too.
Yeah. I didn't actually see Avengers until like 2 weeks after it come out, so I didn't have that same issue. Still fucking packed in that theater though.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing it actually at like 8 o'clock or whatever time they do like that quasi fucking midnight show at my
7
theater.
o'clock.
Yeah, it's like 7 o'clock now or whatever. I'll try to catch that. Like I
By the
said,
way, that movie was 142. 142 minutes.
Avengers.
Mhm.
Okay. Speaking of Avengers, we
Yes.
got
You're
some
welcome.
we got some news about Avengers.
Really?
Not Avengers the movie, but some of the Avengers themselves.
Uh-oh.
And we'll start off first with a little bit of kind of Agents of Shield news. But Adrian Palicki is Mockingbird this season.
I saw this news.
Our first image of her has come out.
Oops.
And the only reason I bring it up, because it's a pretty boring image otherwise, she's a person in a red coat, is only because apparently the Mockingbird outfit isn't as butt-tastic as every other image on the internet suggests it is. I was really expecting that she would just have like a one-piece swimsuit with a thong attached, like a thong at the bottom, like every other image looks like it has. But no, she's going to be dressed like a person. But the reason I say this for Avengers news is because she recently had an interview with IGN where they asked her as to whether or not her character would ever show up in the Avengers. And she's quoted saying, absolutely. That was one of the things that was discussed when I was coming in for the part. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
So we could actually start seeing this could be the first time we'll actually see the TV universe cross in with the movie universe.
Mm-hmm.
So cool, neato.
Da-na-na-na.
But to other actual current Avengers news, there was two interviews that recently happened. The first was with Jeremy Renner. This is with the DailyBeast.com. It's actually a pretty entertaining interview, especially if you like Jeremy Renner. I would definitely suggest you go check it out. But he talks a little bit about his contract and some of the current rumors going around about Hawkeye.
And he kind of did let something drop out of this.
Yeah, the first thing he notes is he's like, I'm not in Cap 3. Or at least if I am, there have been no official discussions about it. I'm sorry, guys, I'm just not actually in it yet. No Hawkeye in Cap 3. But the thing that was interesting about it is he's like, my contract is for Avengers 1, Avengers 2, or no, for the 3 Avengers movie, and then a Black Widow Hawkeye movie. And those are just the ones that are on his contract, which is interesting because recently we discussed how the Russos had hoped to get Hawkeye in Captain America 2, which wouldn't have been part of his planned movie contract. So it is kind of interesting. I wonder if they had plans for how they were going to handle that.
Could have been something like how they brought in Chris Evans for Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, but that was like a cameo. That was probably a day of shooting, then he was done.
We're talking about probably a day of shooting for fucking...
That might have required reshoots. It seems like it was going to be an elaborate scene that would have been more than probably 10 seconds to film.
It also sounds like it would have been longer in concept, but actually him being on the screen would have been a day.
Yeah, still possible. I felt like that would have been more like the Chris Evans thing has always just been a cameo in my mind at Thor: Dark World. So that's why it was like I didn't expect him to do anything more with that.
That's what I was saying. That's what I imagined.
But I wouldn't expect Hawkeye and Cap 2 to have been a cameo, like considered. I don't know. But it's just interesting that he says he's not he has no room in his contract for basically more roles outside of Avengers and maybe a solo movie that would probably be with Black Widow, which he champions as well. He's like, it'd be awesome. Female characters really need to get their own movies, and I'd love to do one with Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow.
I've been, ever since you mentioned the whole Mockingbird thing, I'm not seeing why people are saying butt-tastic.
It might have been the image that first came out when it was announced she was going to be played. I'll see if I can't.
Because I'm seeing like drawings of Mockingjay with tons of butt, but that's about it.
Hold on. Let me see here if I can't find the image that was constantly linked to. I'm about to type in Mockingbird butt-tastic and see what comes up. Let's see. All right, I'm going to keep looking around. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to see if I can find it, and if I do find it, I will link it over to you, and you can tell me if you think it's butt-tastic.
I,
I like no. All right, you don't you sass me. I don't need you sassing me. Okay.
mm-hmm. I think I found it.
Let's see.
No, Chris, I think I found it.
Oh, okay, cool. You found it now. You're the one who found it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I linked it to you in Skype.
That is the butt-tastic image that was first linked. This was the image that seemed to come with every article about Adrian Palicki being Mockingbird, and I just assumed that was going to be what she'd look like. I'd be like, it was just going to be her butt always facing me, and I guess she has sticks.
Yeah, but that's her comic out.
I just thought because it was the only image I kept seeing, so I was just like, I guess that's what we'll do.
Fun fact, I actually looked up Mockingbird Butt-tastic in Google. First thing was from Clark Gregg on Facebook, and then I clicked on it, and it went to that.
Well, there you go.
Thank you for Butt-tastic.
You're welcome. Start using that.
Butt-tastic.
In news of other Avengers character, well, hold on. Is that everything
Other
about
butt
your...
news.
Yeah, in other butt news, Thor talks about his butt and how hot it is. Was there any other Hawkeye news you had? Because I know you said something about some Hawkeye thing.
No, I thought
Big drops.
it was the picture stuff.
Okay. Well, in other Avengers Star picture news, Thor
Yes.
recently had an interview. I don't know. Oh, the International Business Times. It's like the weirdest thing that this is the source for it, but here it is. International Business Times did an interview with Chris Hemsworth where he talked a bit about the role of Thor. And he was quoted as saying, 3 times I've played the character now, which has made me look in it a different way, in reference to the fact he's now playing Thor for the 4th time in Avengers 2. And he talks a little bit about his contract, saying, quote, I've still got 3 more movies in my contract I need to finish off. But I love playing the character, so I'm not in any hurry to finish doing that. It's nice to be able to fit different things in between playing Thor. Well, this is interesting to me because 3 movies after Age of Ultron would imply at least 1 more Thor, 1 more Avengers, and then another role after that. And what we've seen previously with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s is that their contracts seem to go right up until Avengers 3 and stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost wondering if they have something else planned for Thor in Phase 3, or if they're just like, no, Chris Hemsworth seems to be one of the people we just want to keep a little bit longer.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Seems legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he looks great as Thor. He seems to like playing it, and it doesn't even sound like necessarily he'll stop after this contract's up. He's like, I really like playing the character.
I'd like to continue to lift this much.
And I was like, to be fair, I mean, he's probably one of the few Avengers who hasn't had their career just like radically take off or noted wanting to go in a completely different direction. He seems to. I'm trying to think of the last thing he was in that wasn't Rush. I mean, I love the shit out of Rush, but not a whole lot of other.
Oh,
people
he's in a Michael Mann movie coming out.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in terrible name Black Hat, but he's like hunting down a hacker. And I'm like, if it wasn't Michael Mann writing and directing it, I wouldn't be interested. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
I
no,
actually just saw that trailer. Just came out a couple of days ago.
But I really do. I'm a huge fan of Chris Hemsworth, especially because of his roles as Thor and in Rush. I would love to see him stay as the role of Thor. I think he could do it very well. He's helped bring that character back to a point where I think people actually like Thor, and not in an ironic sense. They're like, oh, this can actually be a pretty cool character now. So yeah, I think it's awesome. He's got quite a few movies left for him to do. We're still kind of waiting for news on when Thor 3 is actually going to come out. But no, I'm very happy to hear that we could be getting even more Chris Hemsworth.
Exactly. I'm down with him in things. I mean, I just rewatched Cabin in the Woods, which was great.
Oh, that looks good. No, okay, I could dig this.
Yeah, also
Black
it's Michael
Cat.
Mann.
Black Cat's kind of a bad name, but what are you gonna
Well, it makes sense though,
do? Okay.
because they're
Does
hunting
it?
a black hat.
Does it really?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Fair
don't know your terms, do you?
No, I don't.
A white hat is a hacker who does not take information. They will just break into systems to test them, and a black hat takes information, and then they're actually put on a list. That's what a black hat is.
Sounds lame.
Security stuff. I had to learn that.
Are you a security hacker?
No, but I am a security professional.
So like you could hack into my machine?
I did not.
Like...
I did not go through that kind of training, but no, I had to go through that stuff for my Network Plus certification.
Okay.
But that is what a white and a black hat is. And technically, it's not really hacking; it's cracking. But yeah, I know.
Do you always become a fucking crotchety old man when you say that line?
Kind of, because it's like the nerd thing to kind of do, where it's like, technically, it's not this.
Technically.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about Black Hat, but it does look great. I mean, what's the last bad Michael Mann movie?
I don't know what the Michael Mann movie is.
Heat, Collateral. He did also the Miami Vice movie. He did Public Enemies.
Yeah, you're losing me.
Heat.
Like Miami Heat, like Space Jam? I have seen Space Jam. Is that what we're talking about?
No, we are not talking about Space Jam. We're talking about the greatest heist movie ever made.
I didn't watch a whole lot of movies back in the day.
You need to watch Heat.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Al Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer.
I don't even know who these people are. Stop naming these.
You're just making up
indie
words.
actors.
The movie's great. It's got the best shootout ever. Michael Mann's. Ah! But seriously, Collateral's a great movie.
All right, fine. I'll try to check it out at some point. Small piece of casting news, but not really casting news per se, because it's the same person, just reprising a role. But Dominic Cooper has been announced. He will be returning as Howard Stark and Agent Carter, officially from Marvel.
They officially announced it because I thought they'd already said something about that, when in fact it was just one of those, like, yeah, he should be coming back, whatever.
Yeah, I think they were just like, they probably asked, like, Dominic Cooper, like, hey, you doing this? And he's just like, yeah, I guess so. They ran with that story, and then eventually, so I was like, let's make this a big deal.
Oh yeah, he is gonna be here. That's right.
Holy shit, he's gonna be in the movie! This is a big deal, guys!
Table flip.
And then finally, just a quick little bit of some Guardians news. Not really so much news as... Well, I guess there is a little bit. The Steelbook cover design has been revealed. I linked that to you earlier this week.
And then I linked you angry things about it. Which was
a lot of people being butthurt online because it didn't fucking match their...
the name on the spine!
Doesn't look good! Ah, it's so ugly!
It would have been better if it looked like the actual Walkman in the movie.
How dare they do something unique with it?
I just started spasming as soon as I saw that thread go down to that path. I was just like, fucking shit.
I don't want people to have fun things.
I know, right? Jesus.
But, yeah, so that's coming out. And also, in Guardians DVD news, Guardians the Galaxy will be out on DVD in the UK on November 24th. So those guys will be getting it about a week earlier than us. So
we don't know who's exactly getting the US version of the Steelbook. It's probably in the can. It's going to be Future Shop, because they always do. But I believe it's going to be Target this time, because it alternates. Because the Steelbook was at Target for Thor, I believe, and it just kind of alternates between the two. Between Target and Best Buy. So it's either going to be at Best Buy or Target, but odds are it's going to be at Target. But that's still a ways off. And, yeah.
Okay, and then finally...
Big news.
And this has kind of been coming for a while now.
All over your face?
Yeah, all over my face, neck, and chest. Guardians of the Galaxy has passed Iron Man domestically and is now the third highest grossing domestic movie in the MCU franchise. So
yes, it is currently at close to 320, I believe, or is it a little over 320. I actually had this link up, and then I completely fucking forgot about it and closed that tab again. I'm professional at this, Chris. I don't know if you knew that. It's at,
I can tell you're very professional.
It's at 320,068,000. It is currently the third highest grossing film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is not going to, unfortunately, take over Iron Man 3. It's just impossible at this point. It's got to make 80 mil domestically for that to happen. But it actually has some new things to conquer.
Does it?
In
domestic?
Marvel Comics, period. There is one thing for it to take over that is feasible, which is it is currently 6th in that list. Behind
X-Men 3?
No. The Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh, yes, right.
It is currently 16 million below Spider-Man 3. So it actually has probably a decent chance of overtaking that if it just sticks around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that'll be good. Another notch in its belt.
I actually have to say, the waning totals that it's earning is probably going to make that a little hard because the last weekend was that fantastic for it. I think it pulled in. I think it was 6th place. I believe. I wish I could figure that out, but it is currently incredibly difficult for me to get the weekends. There they are. It was 8th place. I'm sorry, with 3 million. So the odds of it making that much in probably a week or two are pretty low. It is still in a lot of theaters, though, Chris. Remember how
Is it?
last week we mentioned that's probably 1,000 or something?
Mm-hmm.
2,451.
Jesus. I know shit's not coming out, but good lord, you've had like a month and a half to replace it. You've had 2 months to replace
That
it.
was week 8.
Good lord.
No, not week 8. That was week 9.
Good lord.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, look, Box Trolls didn't fucking carry the weight we kind of all thought it was going to.
Fun fact, it went up at week 5.
More theaters carried it in week 5 than.
It went up
Is that what you mean?
91
More theaters
screens.
carried it, and there were more screens airing it week 5 of its release in week 4.
Yes.
How is it possible?
That was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, but only added 91 screens to that list. So there you go.
Bravo. Though. But yeah, that's basically the news for the week. Some kind of cool news there, a little bit of casting news, and then sort of our big news regarding Doctor Strange.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're just kind of in one of those things where we're just getting little bits and pieces. There is something that did happen this week, though, Chris.
What's that?
A comic hit that we haven't read.
A comic did hit that we haven't read,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't read it.
It's a Thor #1 hit.
Yes.
Which I recommend people buying it. I'm gonna be buying it myself probably the next day or two. Cause
I'm gonna try to see. I found out disappointing news that the comic book store downtown actually closed.
I'm just gonna buy it digitally because I don't know where my nearest comic book shop is at all. I could go and get trades, but any place that I used to be able to get them at no longer sells comics, or doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to find those.
I mean, it's sad when I can say I have more specialty board game shops than I have comic book
That
stores.
is really sad.
It is actually true. I mean, good for me with my love of board games, but yes, that's all I have to say. I was kind of distracted by a text message I just got.
It's fair enough. Yeah, that's all we got for news, and let you know.
Ah!
Oh.
I slipped in my chair.
Okay. You all right?
No, I'm okay.
Do you need me to call Superman?
No, it's okay.
Good, because I'd only call Iron Man. It's the Marvel podcast. God damn it!
You fucked up, dude.
No, this is all planned.
So actually, I have a bit of remembrance about Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Did you know that Cabin in the Woods was filmed when Chris Hemsworth got the call to be Thor?
I did not.
Yeah. It was since Cabin in the Woods was on the shelf for fucking like a year and a half because it was being made by MGM, I believe, and then that's when they went bankrupt. So it was shelved for a little while, and they actually talk about it in the commentary because it is, Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon doing the commentary for that movie. And Joss was talking about it, and it was kind of funny because since they were able to do the commentary post Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really funny because he's just like, yeah, I actually thought he was going to be good for Captain America, but boy was I wrong.
Aww.
Yeah, it's actually who Joss was actually pushing for him to be was for Cap. And then he's like, he tried to be Thor. And he said it was really funny how Friday he got Thor and Saturday he got the call to be in the fucking Red Dawn remake. So he had a really rough Sunday.
I think it's worked out for him overall.
As a joke is, and he didn't get another movie on Sunday, so it was kind of a rough day. I know. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get into
Shields.
Agents of Shield.
This takes place minutes after the end of the last episode.
Yeah, because the next, the preview for next episode was her on the bike, and I was like, oh, she gets on the bike, and I was like, no, she hasn't gotten off the bike she was first on.
Yeah, so I guess that's why she took the motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, okay. I don't know how she got off the base of the motorcycle, but, you know.
We don't have time for these things.
Shh.
She killed a couple more Marines, and, these things
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, just kicked him in the face, whatever.
No time for it.
But yeah, so it takes place minutes after the last episode, which really does reaffirm my belief from last week that this would have been a really good two-parter.
Yeah.
And pretty much just has to do with getting Mr. Absorbing Man and getting the item back. That's pretty much the entire episode. I mean, that's the bullet point version of it. That's obviously not what happens in the episode.
There's a lot of little stuff that happens in the episode, but the plot is essentially let's go fucking take down the Absorbing Man.
Yeah, and that's the entire plot, which is nice because it's a lot less dense than the last episode was, which has kind of made me like this episode a lot more than last week, actually, because of that reason alone, that I was able to just enjoy it more than, like, I had to, like, really pay attention last week.
Yeah, you couldn't look away or you'd be like, wait, hold on, what happened? Why
Shit, I missed, like, 18 references because I blinked.
There are a lot of Easter eggs to this episode, though, or little connections that are probably going to lead to something more.
And some pretty juicy bits, too.
Yeah.
Really good parts for people.
But I forget, do we not spoil it for a while and then spoil it?
We don't spoil it for a while, Chris. How hard is it for you to remember?
I don't have a good memory at all.
Okay, pretend it's like the other podcast that you do when you talk about things that you don't want to spoil right off.
Okay. Welcome everybody to Weekly Manga Recap!
Shut up, Chris!
Oh.
So,
I thought I was going to get to talk about manga again this week.
No, if you're not careful, I'll make you watch the fucking anime Marvel shows.
That's a pretty harsh punishment.
There is an Iron Man one, so yeah, think about that. Mm-hmm. And Wolverine in Japan.
I've read the Spider-Man manga. I don't want to go back.
Can't make me go back. Crossover. But yeah, so this is just one of those things where this week is kind of just a follow-up episode, which is good to do for your second one because it allows them to kind of let things breathe, introduce characters better. Mac gets screen time.
Mac is the weirdest aspect of S.H.I.E.L.D. to me.
I like Mac so far.
I like Mac. It's just really, like, he's just there. He just showed up.
Sup?
And he's like, I'm a dude on the team. And you're like, okay, I get it. Like, I could see, like, there's other scientists, like, other people work for S.H.I.E.L.D. But he, like, hangs out with all the main characters. I'm just like, who are you?
Although it did kind of turn up. The way the Mac showed up in this, like, what, 2 times he just kind of showed up? Or
yeah, like,
three times, sorry. He brought them in. No, they brought him in. And then the other 2 times he was just going, "Sup, Fitz, what's up?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna go check out what's going on with Fitz. I'm just like, who are you? Like, I don't dislike him. I think he's a fine character. I get why he's in the team. There was just never a point where the story introduced him to me. This is that first shot. He's him fixing a bike. He's like, I'm the S.H.I.E.L.D. mechanic, and I'm part of your friend group now.
Welcome,
friend Mac. But no, Mac's cool.
But
a lot of people are like, that is the guy who should have been Terry Crews.
You mean Luke Cage?
Yeah. They're one the same now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. That is the second time you've made that mistake.
They're naturally they're mutually exclusive.
That's how badly Terry Crews used to be Luke Cage. You don't even see him as Luke Cage anymore.
There's no Luke Cage. There's just Terry Crews.
Where does Luke Cage end?
Isn't it Iron Fist and Terry Crews?
It is, actually. But no, I mean, I like Mac, and I think he's going to get his episode because pretty much one of the focuses of this episode was Hunter.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good.
It makes sense. This is going to be a guy who they're going to try to push as being one of the main characters, I think, of the show going forward.
And he's interesting.
Yeah, I can see them definitely also probably trying to push maybe a little bit of a love interest with him and Sky.
Good.
I feel like that might just happen because they're like, maybe she'd have someone who's not Crazy Ward.
Speaking of, I was very glad there was no Ward.
Yeah, that's a character I think they really need to use sparingly. Otherwise,
I'm glad that they didn't say, "Hey, we bumped into more Hydra shit. Hey, Ward."
Yeah, Ward, what's going on with these guys?
And he just shrugs and they leave.
He's like, well, I'm not going to talk if it's not Sky. They just get like a crappy cardboard cut out of her, like, hey there, Ward, it's me, Sky. I'm conflicted because I still find you sexy. So where's the Kraken hiding?
But yeah, I mean, they really pared back the amount of shit in this episode, which is really, really good.
We got more time to look at Crusher Creel.
Yes. He got a bit more screen time about him kind of losing his shit, which is pretty great. And stuff like that. And we also kind of got confirmation about some people being super dead.
Mm-hmm.
They were super dead.
They were really, really dead.
And
I don't, guys. I don't want to spoil it, but Idaho is dead.
completely.
Spoilers. Idaho.
And the character too.
Yeah, the character and the state both gone.
They're just
It's been a rough weekend.
we just all of a sudden everybody opened up their maps and just Idaho's just off the list.
It's just gone. There's just a hole there.
It's just fucking weird. But no, I have to say I like the fact that it looks like they use her to make him part of the team, which is an interesting kind of dynamic for him. It looks like it's going to be an interesting way of handling that character, especially since he got more than a line of dialogue and being whiny like he was in the first episode.
Yeah, and he still comes in with this notion he's not a SHIELD agent, he's a mercenary who's becoming a SHIELD agent, so it's still, even though you can kind of get his loyalties, you still kind of think this is a guy whose motivation isn't necessarily helping other people, it's ultimately kind of getting paid at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be kind of keeping his distance. He's never going to be thinking of SHIELD's long-term future when he's working.
Yeah. Which I like that as a dynamic for his character. It's going to be a really interesting thing moving forward.
It's nice. Someone within SHIELD who isn't just like, I live and die in SHIELD.
I need shield all over my body. Kind of like what's happened. They kind of did that with Skye, and I was kind of a little weirded out by that.
A little bit, but then you're also like, she really doesn't have anything else going on in her life.
No, like when she found out, like, was it towards the end of the first season where they found out that Rising Tide is also Hydra stuff?
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck.
God damn it.
Well, shit.
Well, this is gonna make me look bad now.
Damn it. And my boyfriend's a secret Nazi too. Son of a bitch.
Could this day get any worse?
Then it did.
And they're like, oh, Fitz is fucking shit got real with Fitz.
Yeah, now let's move into a little bit of spoiler territory, other than the fact that this episode was really good. It was much better than last week, I'd say.
It was a little bit hit and miss for me. I think some of the writing at the start of the episode was just kind of weak, and I wasn't crazy about Fitz's arc in this episode, but I still liked it. So
I just think that it was a better pace.
Mm-hmm. And that's definitely true. It's definitely an episode you're just like, I can see this as a standalone. I'm getting one complete story within this.
And it didn't feel like I was getting two stories.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you're getting one story and then like 7 pieces of another story at the same time.
Yeah, it was just a bit too much last week. And I like the fact that they set up a few things. They actually set up a lot in this episode. And they did it in a much better way than like saying, this is a character, we're putting this away, we're doing this. They set up stuff along the fact that Crusher Creel is not dead at the end of the episode, which is a nice little twist, I'd say.
Not only is he not dead, there was something very particular about what happens to him that some people may not have picked up on. I didn't pick up on it until I read someone else talking, and I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense.
Say it.
At the end, when he's going through all of his different transformations, when he gets hit by the destabilizing rod, I don't know if they have a name for it, but essentially the last form he takes is of the special carbonite that Reyna gave him. So the notion is being that he's actually right now storing energy because that's what she noted the machine does for that particular material. So he might even, while he's in prison, technically be getting stronger and stronger.
He could be, but he probably will have a tough time getting out of it.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty big certainty, but at the same time,
we gotta save for sweeps.
Yeah, it's not the complete victory I think SHIELD was thinking of.
I think it's enough of a victory, especially since they've got him on ice.
Oh yeah, it's still a victory for them. They have defeated Crusher Crow, but you can be sure he'll be back in some fashion.
Yes, I also I really like the fact that they brought something back, which I thought was a good idea.
What's that?
They brought back something they've already used.
Are you referring to a character or one of
the item that they used to destabilize him?
Oh, okay.
Previous episode.
Was it one for a previous episode?
Yes.
What was it? What did they use it for?
I don't remember why, but if you take a look at all the stuff that they were going through when Fitz was going through all this stuff, they're in order of episodes.
I mean, I noticed some of them. Like I noticed the seven dwarves and like the box they used to contain Gravitron.
Yeah, they're in
But
order. They're in episode order.
okay, I don't remember what they used that to stabilize the rod for. Because wasn't the part of it was that Fitz wasn't able to complete it?
No, he mentioned that he tweaked it
Oh, okay.
for the guy. I can't remember what they used it for, but they did.
Yeah, fair
At
enough.
least I think
Maybe
they did.
maybe a blackout. Maybe they did something with.
No, it was before that. It was
All
before that.
right, I don't know that. I don't remember.
It was during the episode you didn't watch.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Stop being angry at me then.
Shut up, Chris.
Oh,
You shut your whore mouth.
your mouse doesn't have sex with men for money
Uh.
anymore.
Hmm. Today,
I think.
maybe.
Well, let me check. Condom. That should be in there.
Hmm. 2 condoms,
Oh,
but
hi, party.
but in the end, I have to say that I mean I actually liked some of the Fit stuff in this episode. I don't know what you didn't like about it.
Um, it was that Fitz succeeded that I didn't like.
I didn't see it as him succeeding.
I like I want because Fitz is in an awful place right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's clearly insane.
In the membrane.
Everyone else is everyone else is just like, well, he's a fucking waste of the team right now because he just can't do anything. And I kind of want that feeling that you're just like they only keep him around out of this like sentimentality of he was their friend at one time and there's really nothing else for him, nowhere else for him to go at this point. Rather than like, well, technically he is still very useful to the team and he's really good. I want that feeling of like it's a really sad place he's in, just to build a little bit longer. It's just my personal preference.
I think I like the fact that he wasn't too like they kind of established that he's not too far gone. Like he's gone, but he's not.
Gone. Like there's something there. There's something
enough there. Sorry, there's enough there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to work with.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't see it as him succeeding, just him recognizing a situation that he had already seen, but wasn't able to articulate that they had done something similar before.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I watch it again, I'll feel differently on it.
Yeah, I just cry the entire time.
Crying. Nonstop.
Weeping openly.
Well, mommy, what's happening to Fitz?
Tell me!
Is he gonna be okay?
But, yes.
Like, stop calling me fucking crying about television shows.
Well, that's all you ever do, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. Get a job. Maybe then I won't fucking go crying all the time. So did that get real?
A little.
Oh, it's okay. She can't get a job. Oh, she had a stroke.
I know. That's why I made the noise.
No, but I do enjoy the episode. I think the thing that I kind of found the most interesting is a moment where we go into Coulson's room and we see he's on a phone call with somebody talking about very interesting shield factors, and he hangs up and we see it looks like it's coming from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like there's some very interesting stuff going on there that he might have allies that we don't know about. Perhaps even, what is it, Strike is the British unit?
Yes, which I don't think they're going to call it that.
Probably not, but...
I wonder why.
Yeah. Might be some other stuff kind of has that already. Quiet.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird episodes. There's not a ton that I feel like we need to talk about. You know what I mean?
I guess the only real thing to talk about that we haven't already would be the obelisk itself.
Oh, and Flowers coming back.
And yeah, we now know that Raina, the flower girl, is here. She's no longer working for Hydra, but she's for Hydra. Or no, she's working for what's his name?
Sky's dad.
Yeah, Sky. Well, she also had who was the rich guy from last season? Was she working with him or
no?
I'm trying to remember. Okay, maybe it was just Sky's dad. I thought I remember a scene with him, her talking to him, but perhaps I'm
no. She was not working for him. It was the other way around. She brought him into Hydra.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually have seen Sky's dad now too.
For the second time.
Well, we've seen his face now.
Oh,
Well, I
true.
mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You get it. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
I'm just busting your balls.
I'm not crazy.
Sorry, I'm being snarky today.
It's okay. I still love you.
No, you don't.
Not really.
I just like to pretend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on.
So yeah, that was pretty much Shield. I mean, other than that, we got some Talbot stuff, which was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to more Talbot. I don't know about you.
I can always dig more Talbot.
Yeah, I have to say I like Talbot being kind of like the middle villain in a way, like just like the annoyance that kind of pops up from time to time. I mean, of course, things will tell because this is, as we mentioned, pretty much a direct follow up to the last episode. So odds of some of the status quo sticking around is who the fuck knows.
Could go anywhere.
Yeah. I also have to admit I liked Hunter's demands to Talbot. Was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that he clearly cares about Hartley, and that it's very important to him that she get a proper funeral and not be judged harshly because there's a negative connotation to Shield at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that he has a heart,
Yeah.
even though he also wants $2 million.
Well, yeah, you gotta get away.
I mean, play got to get played, or play got to get paid.
You're bad at this today.
I'm really bad at fucking words.
You need more word hammers.
I need word study.
Word hammers because you know wordsmithing? Mm-hmm.
No, I don't need that.
Oh.
You keep your garbage jerky puns away from me.
That's not mine.
I don't care. I know you're kind. You and people with puns. Grr.
Grr. But yeah, that's kind of it. There's not a ton of like dead shit in this episode, other than Coulson wrote things on a wall again.
Well, Reyna did grab the obelisk.
She did grab the obelisk, and things
didn't kill
happened.
her.
No,
Yeah.
we saw symbols, and they lit
Yeah.
up.
I mean, the current running theory is that the obelisk might do something similar to like the Terrigen mists. So I don't know. Maybe Reyna will get some powers of some kind. Who knows? But either way, she was not considered unworthy like that poor unfortunate Waster, who's dead forever.
Forever.
And never coming back.
Also, we heard
she's dead.
We heard people like Creed call gifteds.
Yes. Gifts.
Gifteds.
Gifts.
Shut up. They did because I watch things with fucking subtitles on, bro.
Ah, that's the key.
Mm-hmm. They specifically said gifteds, which was kind of weird to hear gifteds, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, what else are you gonna say?
What else would you say?
You can't call them metahumans.
Call them special people.
Yeah, gifted is better than that. I'm gonna go with that.
Xavier's school for the special people.
For gifted youngsters. You can't because I believe Flash is calling them metahumans. For one.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw that Flash pilot.
That was the pilot.
So back to Shield.
Well, you don't have our God, look how DC's fucked up this week segment. We haven't done that in a while.
It's not really fucked up. It's just it kind of doesn't work.
Aww.
Yeah, it's okay. But then again, it was kind of a early pilot version of it, so I don't know. But yeah, actually, Arrow's starting up soon, I believe.
Yeah, I thought I did hear something about that.
Arrow's like in the next week or two, so I think I'll be talking about that like in passing. Because I like season 2. I mean, if you want to dig into it, I believe season 2 hits Netflix instant next week. So if you want to catch up on Arrow, you can do that, or just skip season 1 and just go right into season 2.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I would actually say that you would like season 2.
I probably would. I just don't have time to watch it. I've got an employee, a coworker, who is busting my balls every day to watch Blacklist.
It's not that good.
Non-stop watch Blacklist.
No, it's not that good. I tried. I got like 5 episodes in, and I'm like, I know where this is going, and I'm no longer interested. It's just there's too many leaps. Just too many leaps. It's just not my thing. There's other TV shows I'd rather watch than that. Like, I just started Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And is it worth it?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I watch on Hulu.
How are the villains?
In Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they're pretty good, actually.
Oh, really? There's
Yeah.
actual villains? I was just saying that as a joke.
Well, it's a cop show.
Well, I thought it was a comedy cop show, though.
It is, but there's still murders and bad guys.
Yeah, but aren't they silly murders and bad guys?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Do they have like a Joker kind of character when it just wants to spread chaos and discord?
I would absolutely love, like, a comedy cop show to have a dead serious bad guy.
Just one like dude who you're just like, this guy's taking shit way too seriously.
Exactly. Like it's an actual, like, murder spree and it's awful, and they're still making jokes.
They're just like, seventh dude without his arm today. Fuck, man, this city's gonna be needing some new arms. Am I right?
Up high.
Bam! Oh, you can't because you don't have your arm anymore.
Well, there is a
Boom.
plot at one point in the show where someone's spray painting dicks on the set of cop cars.
That was like your Joker example?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going with.
Okay.
Bad guy villains. No, no. I mean, it's just Blacklist is just. I would say it's not that good. I would say if you want to give it a try, give it like Fortunately, it takes like 3 episodes to get to the kind of the main shit. But the best thing about it is Spader.
The best thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I mean. That's the reason the guy's been trying to get me. He's just like, fucking James Spader, man, is fucking incredible. They're never gonna see anyone better than this.
I don't know.
This is the same guy who, when I told him like the plot of Lucy was stupid because they were just doing that same like you only use 10% of your brain bullshit. He's just like, no, man, that's actually true. And then it was like a 40-minute discussion about how it's true that we only apparently use 10% of our brains.
Sorry, I just had an aneurysm. I was actually gonna mention another show that's better, but no, don't watch Blacklist.
Yeah, like just don't challenge this dude. It sounds like he's gonna get you on a bad path.
Yeah, I mean, Blacklist is just not my kind of show. I mean, it's my dad's show. For like, I watched it, and I'm like, why do you watch this? And I'm like, oh, someone to watch, and James Spader's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, that's about it. I mean, he gets away with a lot of shit for being the 4th most wanted man.
But he's helping them catch the top 3 most wanted men, right?
No.
That's how it works, right?
Nope.
Why are they doing it?
But when your coworker's saying, like, there's nobody better than James Spader, like, doing stuff, I'm sorry. Mads Mikkelsen, Hannibal, yeah.
Yeah, it's another show I'm not gonna watch. I don't have time for it.
It's on Amazon.
I'm sure it's on the place that's readily available. I just don't have time to watch it.
Well, it's only
I still have like 4 episodes of Boardwalk Empire, like season 5, to catch up on.
But Chris, there's one reason that you need to watch it.
Unless it's Terry O'Quinn, it's a new great role. Like
I was gonna say Fishburne being awesome.
No, unless it's Terry Quinn finally getting a chance to be Locke again, but like with a happier ending, then I don't care.
I don't know. We're talking Lawrence Fishburne in a lead role.
You can talk all you want. It's just, I don't have time for it.
Fishburne.
I don't have time for it.
I don't care. It's only like 12 episodes, anyways.
That's a lot. They're all an hour long, I presume.
45 minutes.
Yeah, that's like half a fucking day I have to spend devoted just watching fucking.
Like watching an episode.
Yes, that's a long time. I'm very ADD.
See, I actually watch a lot of shows when I'm working out.
Working out?
Yeah. I bring my tablet and I watch things on it.
While you're working out?
Yeah.
Are you just doing cardio?
I do some bike, do some running.
Okay, well, I do a lot of bodyweight fitness, which kind of doesn't lend itself well to.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be more podcasts if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump on the bike for half an hour. Boom, TV show.
Yeah, I mean that I can understand. I don't have that exact same luxury, but.
Meh.
I mean, when I do some workouts, I do try to catch that's how I was catching up on Justice League.
Okay. See, you spent time to watch Justice League.
I still have to finish Justice League Unlimited, man.
When?
Meh.
The difference is Hannibal is a great show that nobody's watching, so it may not finish because nobody's watching it. You are doing it a disservice.
I'm not doing a disservice.
Yes, you are.
Oh, who's the network?
NBC.
NBC is the one giving them a disservice.
No, yes, but that's not the point. The point is that
your show's on NBC. It's not. It's destined.
no. It's not the facts on NBC. It's on NBC at 10 o'clock on a Friday. It's after Dateline.
Wow, that is a fucking murder sentence.
And it survived it.
What dude in NBC's executive office did the showrunner of fucking Hannibal punch out?
You mean Brian Fuller? Who did Brian Fuller punch in the face? I don't know. But yeah, they went to Fridays at 10.
That is just awful.
Well, for one, it is a horribly violent show, so it has to be on at 10. There's only so many days that it could be.
That's a show that probably should have been on a Showtime or an HBO.
Dude, it looks like it. The only thing is missing is language. There's an episode where a dude has a beehive inside of him.
Well, that's not nice. That's gonna really hurt his belly.
It stings a lot. But No, but seriously, watch Hannibal.
All right. Do we want to call this one then?
Okay, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Hannibal podcast.
Next week, we'll be talking all about Hannibal-related news. Hannibal has been canceled, everybody. Thank you for watching the Hannibal podcast. It's been a great run. We're going to have a clip show of our favorite memories.
Actually, they announced that Gillian Anderson is moving up to a regular cast member.
Good for her. She's still hot?
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. She's actually gotten hotter.
That seems impossible, but good for her.
Yeah. I'll show you after the podcast.
Maybe I'll just go on the Fappening and see if I can't find something. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you guys next week. We're talking more about S.H.I.E.L.D. and butts, I guess.
Hey, remember, keep your weekends butt-tastic. I want that to be our tagline. You need to keep that.
Welcome to the Butt-tastic Podcast.
Movies, comics, butt-tastic.
Under butts. Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.